Hi guys, Little Rich here, how you doing? Sorry I wasn't here last week. I was on holiday in Scotland land with my wife for my birthday. You can go to my channel if you like and check out my video from the holiday if you want. Anyway, yes, so this week I'm going to do a catch-up on last week's subject, which was pain, and also do this week's subject, which is phobias. Now, pain is something quite sort of dear to me, if that's the right word. No, not dear to me, not like expensive dear or even dear. It's something that I know a lot about because since I was born, I've had about 30 odd operations on my legs, which have included literally cutting my feet in half and reshaping them and things like that. So I have a very high tolerance of pain, not a low tolerance, a very high tolerance. Taller than me, yes. But I've got to tell you, the most excruciating pain that I've experienced was a couple of years ago. I had, well, about 5-6 years ago, I had a collapsed knee joint, which was so bad that the surgeons wanted to cut off my leg. And I said, no, I want a second opinion. So I found a surgeon after a couple of years who was willing to rebuild my knee. Basically, they cut the knee joint out completely, had one built, a one-piece articulated joint. Here's some x-rays. Have a look at some x-rays inside my body. And then what they did is then put a rod right up my femur. Up my femur, not up my arse already, up my femur, but the muscles that run down the front of your leg actually run down the side of mine, so they had to relocate those to the front along with all the tendons, and it's about 7.5 hours worth of operation, and I had to retrain my leg how to work in a different way, and even after 4 years after that surgery, it's still effing painful. They cut me from just above my shin all the way up over my knee, up my thigh, and all the way around my backside. So it's a scar about 2 foot long, which is probably about, well, it's more than half my length of my body. But then the worst thing was that a couple of years later, I had to go and have the femur bone taken out, which usually is the rod, and then an artificial hip put in, which screwed into the top of this rod. So I had that done a couple of years ago, so I had to go through all the process again. But then, while I was going through all this, and literally trying to walk again and suffer the pain of it, I suffered a pulmonary embolism, a blood clot on the lungs, which nearly killed me. Came that close, smaller than me, that close to dying. And then the next time when I had my hip done, I had a blood loss that was so severe after the operation that my blood pressure went down to something like 60/30. They got a crash team there ready to resuscitate me in case I popped my clogs. And the doctor on call that night actually came back the next day on his day off to see if I'd made it through the night. It was that bad. But those are probably the most excruciating pains I've ever experienced. Not pleasant. I don't want to go through them again, especially because the surgeons want to do the same on the other side, on my other leg now. So I'm kind of putting that off because I've got a little baby on the way, and I can't be doing with that and looking after baby. I want to look on happy things, but that's the important thing, happy things. I've been going to a pain clinic recently to manage my pain because of the arthritis that I've got, and I have a curved spine. I'm just wonky, I'm not right. And what the doctors have said is that you've got a very good understanding about pain, because pain is very controllable. People are just too easy to pop pills and stuff like that, and the brain can only process so much information. So if there's lots of pain messages going to the brain, it can only process so much of it. So the trick is to distract your brain with other things. So it's proven that if you actually concentrate on something positive or something to distract you while you're experiencing pain, your perception of the pain is greatly reduced. So there's a great deal that you can do holistically to deal with pain. So that's very serious and very science there for you for that little vlog this week. Now, as to phobias, I don't have any phobias. I have never yet come across anything that scares me to death, that I'm actually terrified of. Because if I come across something that really scares me, I confront it head on and deal with it. So in my opinion, phobias are all in your head. Well, they are. Where else are they? Oh, it's down there. There's my phobia. I'm off to get it. I'll see you guys next week.